Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Nays Pink Bookshelf. My name is Nays for those of you who are new to the channel, and I am going to be sharing with you guys my TBR for the vaLITines Readathon, and I am so excited about this Readathon. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot who created this readathon, but I did hear it from Princess over at the Castle Library, so I will leave all the information down below for you guys. There is a bingo board which looks like this, and there are 25 prompts, and I am just super excited for this. So I have all of the prompts listed here printed out. I also have my spread in my reading journal, and we're gonna dive in. This is a month-long readathon, so I think that's great. And a lot of these books you have already seen in my other two TBR videos. The first TBR was my Blackathon 2020 TBR, where I have 8 books listed for that, and then I also have my Tome Topple round 10 TBR, which I believe has 5 books. This is going to include most of those books as well as some new books, and then I have one more TBR video to make for you guys, but we're gonna dive in. So the first prompt is Old Love, and it's to read an old favorite or a book that brings back fond memories. And for that, I am going with Adeyemi's Children of Blood and Bone. I want to reread this before I dive into the sequel, so I am going with this. This is YA fantasy set in sort of a fantasy Africa, and it deals with magic and the Orisha, and I freaking love this. I love Zele, Amadi, I love Zane and Inan, and oh my god, I think his name was Rowan. I think that's his name. Can't remember his name, but I heard he really comes back and takes like a major play in the sequel, so that's why I want to reread this and re-annotate. I adored this book. It is a tome, so yeah, but I want to reread this and revisit the world before I go into the second book. The second prompt is Black History, and that is to read a book written by a Black author, and for that I'm going with A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy. This is, again, African-inspired fantasy, YA. I believe it deals with 2 sisters, but I know for a fact that there's a princess. Someone tries to assassinate her, and there's blood magic, and the princess has magic over marrow and bone. Blood and marrow. I don't know why I said bone and marrow, but it's blood and marrow. And yeah, her older sister, so it's the 2 sisters, they're fighting, and I'm excited for this. It is North African inspired fantasy, so yes, I am super stoked for this book. The third prompt is Love Mate, and that's basically to spend 30 minutes leaving comments on social media, such as your favorite videos, Instagram posts, blog posts, and anything for creators that you appreciate. Then moving on to prompt 4, it's called That's My Type. So it's basically read a book either recommended to you or extremely in your comfort zone, such as your favorite genre, author, or tropes. I'm gonna go with Elantris by Sanderson. This is a part of my Tome Topple round 10, and I love adult fantasy. I just absolutely adore it so much, and I absolutely adored Warbreaker by him. I actually read that last month. So was it last month or December? Whenever it was. But then the last 2 months I read Warbreaker and adored it. So I am going to be diving into his first book, which is Elantris, which is also a standalone, before I dive into his series. So we have that book. Okay, so prompt 5 is First Date. It's to read an author's debut. For that, I went with Slay by Brittney Morris. I recently just finished this book, and oh my god, I love it. It is YA fantasy. It is a YA contemporary with a little bit of sci-fi aspects, as there is a virtual reality game, but it's mainly contemporary. I adored this book. Gave it 5 stars. I love Kiara. I loved Cicada, aka what's her name? Claire, which is Cicada. I loved the different perspectives. I love the whole just everything about this book. I loved, especially the card game, the virtual reality game. Can I have Slay? Like, can somebody make cards? But we gonna stop. But great book. Read it already. 5 stars. Challenge 6 is Show and Tell. Talk about a favorite book on your social media platform of choice and show it off with a picture. So again, there are some non-reading challenges thrown in, which I think is great. So then moving on to prompt 7 is Skinny Love. Read a book under 200 pages. I could go with The Deep by River Solomon, but I'm going with this comic, which I already read. Black Sands by Manuel Godoy and David Lenormand. I think that's how you say that, but this is the Ultimate Edition. It is the 7 Kingdoms. I enjoyed this. It was really great. I gave it 4 stars, and I loved everything about this. The artwork in this is epic to me. I mean, you guys can tell me that it's not epic, but it really just talks about ancient Kush and the Kermites and the gods and the goddesses back then and the pharaohs and things like that. So it's really great. I enjoyed it. Okay, then prompt 8 is Love Triangle. Read a book that is a part of a trilogy. For that, I'm going with Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron. All I know, this is, again, African-inspired YA fantasy. It deals with witch doctors and demons, and the main protagonist is, her parents are famous witch doctors. They're very powerful, so of course everyone would think that she's going to be powerful, but she is without magic. There is a reason for her being without magic, which I heard is really crazy, so I'm super excited to dive into this. And I heard her mother is really like mean towards her, where her father is the more nurturing one, so I think that's going to be epic to check out. But yeah, we have this one. Prompt 9 is Sharing is Caring. So it says, replace this challenge with any challenge from another readathon taking place in February, and they recommend Blackathon. I'm already partaking in Blackathon, so I decided to flip that with the Blackathon challenge that is called the Say Ikpai. It's on a screen, but for that one, it's to read a work exploring mental health and disability in Black folks. And for that, I'm going with Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia HIbbert. This is contemporary romance. It's angsty, it's steamy, I've heard, but Chloe Brown is a thicker Black woman, and she does suffer with fibromyalgia, so I'm super excited to dive into this, and this is actually going to be one of my next reads. Moving on, the next one is 10, which is Bubble Bath. Read in a bubble bath, or this can be replaced with another comfort activity if you're not one for baths. Definitely going to do that. Then prompt number 11 is Library Lovers Month. Read a book from the library. I don't know which book I'm going to pick, but I'm going to get one off of Libby. Then prompt number 12 is One Man's Trash. Read a book that you've seen someone hate or unhaul. So I literally just watched a bunch of like unhaul videos, and I watched Stala Reed's, I think it was her 4th and final unhaul from 2019, and she actually unhauled one of my favorite books that I said I wanted to reread this month, so I'm going to throw it in here, and that's The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang. I already read this, gave 5 stars. I freaking love this. Stella, I think that's her name, Stella and Michael? Yeah, Stella and Michael. I love them so much, and I wanted to reread this before I read the sequel, which is called The Bride Test, which follows Michael's cousin, Quan? I think that's his name? Whatever Michael's cousin name is. And then I know the 3rd book is going to come out, which follows the cousin's brother. So I don't really know the other 2 characters' names because I haven't gotten into it, but Stella and Michael we love. I shipped Stella and Michael. I loved everything about this book, so I'm excited to reread this book. And then we go into prompt 13, which is simply tag the Readathon on Twitter and Instagram using at Read vaLITines, and use the tag vaLITines on social media. Simple enough, of course. And then we have 14. It's called Setup. So read a book recommended to you by someone in your life, and I'm going again with Black Sands. This was recommended to me by my son's father, my fiance. So yeah, I read it, I enjoyed it, it was awesome, and I can't wait for the second one to come out. He did order the second one already, so can't wait for that to come. Alright, so prompt 15 is Longtime Crush. Read a book that you've been meaning to get to for a while, but something always gets in the way. For that, I'm going with The 5th Season by N.K. Jemisin. I always want to read this book, but I always got other stuff going on. So we're going to go with this. Adult fantasy, and I don't know much except that the earth is broken, it's spewing ash, and it follows 3 different perspectives. That's all I know. I want to keep it at that. There are magical abilities, but I don't want to know much about it. That's it. We're going to read it. So prompt 16 is Newlyweds. It's read one of the most recent books added to your TBR. Basically, from that, I'm going to say from my TBR, from my recent purchases. So that is going to be The Bells by Dhonielle Clayton, the first book in The Bells. And I'm adding this because I just got it in January. I want to read it. I also got the sequel, and it's really, really pretty. And oh my god, I love the just gorgeousness of the books without their dust jackets. So pretty. So these end pages, pink. But yeah, I just know that it deals with beauty, and there's a mystery, and yeah, that's it. YA fantasy. Prompt 17 is More to Love. Read a book over 400 pages. So I could obviously go with Children of Blood and Bone, or I could go with The 5th Season, but I'm going with this review book that I have to read for the month of February, and it's The Unwilling by Kelly Braffet. I don't know much about this book at all. I just know it's YA fantasy. It deals with a young girl named Judah. The little blurb here says she has no name, no history, but a power the Empire has never known. And it was blurbed by Aaron Morgenstern, excuse me, on here. And also Cait Howard, which is the author of An Unkindness of Magicians. So, yeah. I don't really know. I just know that this dust jacket, the book without the dust jacket is, like, gorgeous. Gorgeous. I definitely want to paint the edges in gold. But, yeah, I did receive an ARC of this book. Don't know where my ARC copy is right now. but I received an ARC, but then the publisher actually sent me a finished copy, so I'm going to read the finished copy, and I'm super, super excited. This book clocks in at 569 pages. So, there we go. Okay, so prompt 18 is not my type. Read a book out of your comfort zone, or read a book through a medium out of your comfort zone. Audiobooks, ebooks, graphic novels. So I couldn't pick a type that is out of my comfort zone because I normally do read ebooks and I read physical books. I enjoy graphic novels and mangas. Audiobooks are new to me still, but I'm actually getting comfortable with them, so I couldn't really go with that. So I'm just going to go with the genre that I normally try to stay away from, and that is going to be YA contemporary that deals with medical issues. I don't know, I just prefer not to read those type of books that deal with health issues. I prefer to read the adult versions instead of YA. So I'm going with Full Disclosure by Camryn Garrett. All that I know is that the main protagonist is a black girl, and she is HIV positive. That's all I know. And it looks like it's going to be a short read, so it's probably like 300 pages. Yeah, about 300 pages long, so hopefully we can dive into this soon. Alright, prompt 19 is tune in. So this is basically make a short playlist for your favorite book. And then prompt number 20 is token of affection. Read a book that you received as a gift. I'm going with Becoming by Michelle Obama. My son's fiance, brought me this book, and I got it when it actually came out. I still haven't read it, and I want to read it this month. So, yeah, we have this book, and I cannot wait to get into this. I'm also going to listen to the audiobook because Michelle does read the book herself. So, we have this. Then moving on to 21. Prompt 21 is commitment issue. Start or continue a book series. So, I decided to go with starting a new series, and it's going to be A Blade So Black from L.L. McKinney. This is the first book in the Nightmare Verse trilogy. I own book 1 and 2. As you can see, the second book is right there. Book 3, I don't think it's out yet. But, yeah, it's YA fantasy. It's a retelling of Alice in Wonderland, but with a black cast, of course. And I've heard that it's really good, so I'm super excited to dive into this book. Prompt number 22 is a final non-reading one, and it is basically called Lift Them Up. It share at least 5 creators that you love on the platform of your choosing, so that's going to be easy. Prompt 23 is You See Me. Read a book that you feel represents you in some way. I haven't found a book yet for that. I want to read a book all about dancing. So I'm still looking for a book in that genre or in that kind of realm. Prompt 24 is Shallow. Read a book that you definitely bought for the cover. So this book I bought because I really did want to read it because it's YA fantasy, and it's African-based YA fantasy. But the cover is stunning. Like the most prettiest is not proper English, but the prettiest cover I own on my shelf. Daughters of Enri by Reni, Cait, Amayo. Oh my god. Hopefully I'm saying the name right, but this cover. You guys cannot tell me this is not stunning. I think without the dust jacket it's also pretty. Yeah, like gorgeous, gorgeous. Now there is a book that I actually just received in the mail, but I didn't buy it, so I can't include it. But I'm gonna show it anyway because it's really pretty to me. So I just got this in the mail from the publishing company, which is Candlewick Press, for review. But it's Mermaid Moon. It's by Suzanne Coco. You guys, this is gorgeous, right? Just look at that, right? Sprayed edges. I wasn't expecting that, right? But when you take off the dust jacket, oh my god, like guys, I wasn't expecting this, honestly. I was just expecting like a paperback or something, but this is stunning, and I can't wait. This is probably my first book that I got from a publishing company that already had sprayed edges, because I do my own edges, dye sprayed edges, but this is gorgeous. So yeah, but if we're talking about a book that I physically purchased myself, then of course it will be this beauty. This is beautiful. The most beautiful is not English, but it is the most beautiful book on my shelf. Okay, the most. Love it. Okay, and the last and final prompt 25 is Picture Perfect. Read a comic book, graphic novel, or a picture book. Again, I'm going with Black Sands by Manuel. Godoy, I think that's how you say that. Godoy, I don't know. But I read it. I loved it. Of course, I'm going to throw in some other ones. I do read some web comics off of Webtoon, so I'm probably going to find one off of there. I'm currently reading one. I can't remember the name right now, but it's dope. I'm reading 3 that are like completely dope, so I'll throw the pictures up on the screen. But those 3 webcomics are dope as ever to me. They're fantasy based, of course, love fantasy. They're action packed. The characters are very well created and crafted, and that's it. So that is it. I'm gonna try to black out the board, try to get them all. I'm still looking for a book to fit prompt 23, so if you guys have any recommendations for YA or adult novels centered around dancing, let me know. And again, that's pretty much it. So if you're joining vaLITine Readathon, let me know. Leave your videos and links and comments down below. And thank you guys for subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!